And in case you're wondering what we're doing here, we're trying to show you a contrast between a social dance sequence and the same moves being done in a way that shows the partner more and projects the pattern more. And we're doing that strictly by connection. So we do more dynamic connection to get more energy out. And we turn our heads and our bodies in angles that we normally wouldn't do socially. In other words, in a basic sugar push, if I'm just social dancing with my partner and I want to put a little bit of body action, I can, and it's very nice. And I can even use the staccato sharp movement. Boom, da-da-da-da-da, underarm passes, anything I want to do, I can make them sharp. But the moment I put an angle on them, it includes the audience. It opens that door up and it creates a projection that goes outward. If I add a head turn to it and pull the posture a little stronger on it, it's going to give even more projection to maybe somebody who's sitting 100 feet away. So the same movement with the chin a little higher and look out to the audience. And I wouldn't do it every time because you do want it to look like you have some connection with your partner. But in the middle, you look out, or you let one of you look out, or you can do both of you to do, whatever kind of movement you want to do. You do it by just strictly looking or projecting the energy in the direction you want it to go. Sometimes it's as simple as taking a hand out and pointing it towards the audience, or opening yourself up to the audience, depending on what you want to do, or presenting your partner. So in this case, we're looking towards things that present our partner more. So what I want to do is put my partner in positions where I know she can do something that looks interesting with the body. She can do body waves from here. She can do movements by herself across the floor, but like I do a body wave in this position. She can do body waves and look back into the audience's eye. Then she can walk forward and basically flirt with the guy on the way by and use the audience as a tool to flirt also. And then back into something going under the arm. So the projection thing you're looking for is more energy than anything else. If you back off your energy, if your eyes go to the ground, you close the audience away from what you're doing, if you're working for an audience at that point. If you're social dancing, you don't want to look at the floor either, though, because then it looks like you're not paying attention to your partner. So we may have a low focus point, but it's usually because we're focusing in this area, the center of the body. And that's so that the lady can find out what's going on with the patterns the guy's leading. Guys, I don't know what you're looking at. I have to, sorry. I can't give you an excuse. But the lady's going to look there for the centering of the pattern. So I usually look right straight through into the lady's center instead of looking around behind her or looking off to the side. But if I am dancing any competition, a Jack and Jill or a couples competition, then I'm probably going to do more focusing outwards with a lot of my movements, and I'll make sure that I angle my body on diagonals all the time instead of squaring everything off and making it one-dimensional. Again, your basic sugar push would look pretty flat. If we put a slight angle on it, that puts a little energy into it. You'll find yourself actually dancing differently when you do. You can see that Janelle's adding much more movement to it because it feels like it belongs there. When it's flat and square, you don't feel like doing anything. So you get pretty square with the pattern also. And I think we pretty much cover everything there. We'll be using different variations in the actual workshops, but that gives you the concept. It's something to think about. Take any pattern you do, just put it in a slightly different angle. Turn your head for the pattern. Don't put yourself in a position where you cannot look and then try to look. In other words, I won't do an underarm pass like this, stop here and try to look back over my shoulder. That's too dang obvious and ugly on top of it. So I would wait till I was coming this way, and I would focus, and then I would turn back into my partner. Again, make sure you include your partner in everything you do. Look at them, present her. Present her, look at them. But don't get stuck here or here if you're doing competition-style dancing. Okay, we'll see you again. That was our presenting your partner sequence. All right, we're going into the partnering skills. This would be for Jack and Jill type competitions, or it could just be to be a little showy with your dancing. Basically what you're doing here is trying to find a way to give the lady an opportunity to either play or to strut her stuff or show what she can do. If you're dancing with somebody who's fairly new, then you have to make what she does look good because she won't have the clue of what to do. If it's the other way around, if it's a lady dancing with a male partner who's basically not a very strong dancer, then you have to find subtle ways to make his leads look like the ending of the movement which you have created was his idea, so to speak. So it looks like you're connected partner-wise. You don't have to give up anything of yourself to do that. It's basically a way of including your partner. I'm going to start off with a closed basic here and to give you a couple examples here. If I do a regular basic 1 and 2 and I lead that spring 3 and 4 into a break step, what she could do to actually change that a little bit, if she wants to make that something different, is actually stop her feet when we get to the first triple. So it'd be 1 and 2. And then instead of doing any footwork at all, just do body. Let the body roll, let the body come back, and then start the feet again and go. So right now I've given her the opportunity by adding a movement, a spring lead, and she has taken an option, one of her options, and implemented it right there. Just to give that a change a little bit. Could have been something in the music, could have just been the fact that she wanted to do it. You never know. So we go 1 and stop, move the body, and then 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now good partnering skills mean that you're so aware of what your partner is doing that you can almost immediately copy what they do. Sometimes you'll catch it at the end of what they're doing and you'll include it a little bit later. Let's give an example of that. If I were to lead a movement that had, the typical pot stir pattern where the guy changes hands on a cross hand tuck, the lady does a little stir. They don't always do this. Sometimes they just spin. So if they just spin, then I probably wouldn't do anything. But I saw the lady do something new. Now Janelle comes in, she does her prep, and she does her tucking action, and I go, oh, I like that move, that's cool. And I forgot all about it. Well, the next move, maybe a little further down the line, I may set myself up to do it, but then maybe when I get to here, I'll set myself up to do a little pot stirring action, and then right back out. And again, like a good partner, she can either do it right away again, or at least she pays attention to me and sees that I'm trying to do it and doesn't move around too much and actually gives me more reaching hand to give me more space to do the move. So you both have to be totally aware of each other. We're going to do a couple of patterns here. We'll start off with our basic. We'll do a tuck. And we'll just go ahead and dance a little bit to show you some of the things we're talking about. Now I'm going to lead a freeze action. And the freeze action for me might be to stop on the edge of the slot like so. She's choosing to stop on the front of the slot, right down the slot, to give it a different line. But if you notice, she can make that adjustment anytime she wants. She can turn it sideways. She can keep it more directly forward. She can actually add pressure to me. She can pull pressure away from me. She can do different things with it. I'm just giving her the opportunity by coming to the stop. I've said I want to freeze. I didn't say how. I just said I want her to freeze. So she's going to choose to do whatever it is she chooses to do. Sometimes it's right on with me, and sometimes it's totally different from me, but it still always feels right on because the connection is there. So what we don't want to do is have one of you hit a freeze and the other one decide, well, this must be a good time to do body movement, and go crazy doing some body thing while the guy's arm is flopping around trying to hang on to you. So you just have to be aware. Now, for the guy, it's not always up to you. It's not always up to you to say to her, I don't want you to move, because maybe that is the kind of thing that she hears in the music. And what I'll do in some cases, like on these power whips, I'll set her out there and I'll basically give up myself right here as far as things I might want to happen, and I'll just leave it alone. This is an opportunity for her to do whatever she pleases. And this could be just about anything, ladies. You could take all the time in the world you want, but you have to be ready for him to lead you out at any time. And you do it in a nonchalant way. You don't worry about it. You just continue.